Hello to probably nobody watching. I am trying to live stream. Yeah. Bet you might have even thought that I wasn't even here anymore, but yeah, I'm doing it. So, this is a live stream of my watch through the first X-Men movie, not X-Men First Class. I'm doing this for a YouTube video that I'm doing where I'm going to rank all of the X-Men movies. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to rank them all. And so, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think anyone's gonna want to sit here and watch through the whole movie, but whatever. Hi, Lucas Green. Nice to see you again too. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch the X movie and just talk my way through it all, and then I'm gonna do a video later. No, Dr. J, I'm not gonna get into trouble because I'm gonna use my headphones, so that way they're not gonna hear anything on the speakers and anything. I'm not gonna show any footage. It's just me sitting in front of my TV. If you guys want to watch, well, to get your own versions and sync it up if you want to. Yes, I like the movie Whiplash. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Okay, where's my headphones? Okay. So enough Dolly. This video is going to be long enough. So yeah, I'm planning on doing a video later, later down the road because I have some time this week to kill. So I'm just gonna binge through all of the X-Men movies. That's right, from X-Men to Dark Phoenix, which I have not seen yet. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. So actually, you know what? I think it'll be fine. You'll hear the movie in the background, but I don't think that'll be fine. If not, what? Well, I'll just delete the live stream. Who cares? Well, Lucas Green, I'm glad that you'll sit through this so I have an audience. You know, glad to see you have nothing else to do for an hour and a half or 2 hours. I don't even know how long this one is. The classic X fading away.
It is the key to our evolution. It has enabled us to.
Here's the thing. This is the classic thing, the mutation. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like he's rushing it in this first one. Thousands and thousands of years, but every few millennia, evolution steps forward. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, where's my check? The other ones, I feel like he says it slow and methodical, so it comes across less rushed. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my brain playing with me. I saw the trailer that Disney Plus. I was watching it on Disney Plus because my version is scratched beyond repair. I saw the trailer they had for it. Man, if you watch the original X-Men trailer, that is terrible. Anyway, I always loved this opening, but I remember the first time I watched it, it confused the heck out of me. I'm like, because I knew of the comic book characters of the X-Men as a kid, but I didn't really know what they were. Like, I didn't know their deal yet. And so I'm like, all right, gonna get to see Cyclops and Wolverine and all that. Nazi Germany? What is happening here? I know I'm in X-Men because I saw the big X on the screen, but Jews going down the corridor that they're going to be separated and probably put in the concentration. What is happening? But, you know, I always thought it was funny how they define the X-Men movies as the near future. But there's only so far into the near future you can get before it's just a date. Because, like, you know, Magneto couldn't have been a kid and still have been, like, a middle-aged man from nowadays. You know, the math just doesn't add up. So you do the math from World War II to now, you can get a date. Near future doesn't really do too much anymore. X-Men, what's your favorite? Yeah, we'll see which one's my favorite. I've said on my channel when I review movies which ones I thought was my favorite, but I want to rewatch this and see which one holds up the best. Because I'm gonna take what's the best moment? What's the best moment? Action scene. This is a great moment. This would definitely be in the top 5 for the film. Just the start, just like it's gripping. He's ripped away from his family, and all of a sudden his powers just come out. The fence starts to pull. The soldiers can't pull him back. Some of them are chuckling. They're like, "Oh, it's, well, you can't pull a kid." And then now nobody can pull him back. They're just getting pulled with him. The gate bends back. The little detail of like the barbed wire bending over. I tell you this, First Class, and I'll eventually get to that, has some problems. But when you see the whole scene where he's just like stabbing Nazis, you don't feel sorry for him. They're Nazis. I don't know if I'm going to stream every one of them. Yeah, I'm not just going to. It's almost 10 o'clock where I'm at, so I'm not just going to stream them all in a row.
The Canadian Rockies.
So I'm just going to see how this goes and see what's up. 6 people. I'm famous.
Well, that's the point, stupid. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an adventure.
And when are you going to do this?
I don't know. After high school, full college.
This actress, she has the accent pretty good down in this scene. And I feel like, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly or not, but I feel like she kind of like drops it halfway through the movie, like the southern accent. First kiss, young love. And puberty is a pain for everyone. I will admit this scene is pretty good too. Just like, especially for me, like I had no idea what was happening, and you feel like.
You call an ambulance? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now seeing the beginnings of
everyone's
stage of human evolution.
Most apathetic character.
And are often triggered by periods of heightened.
I gotta tell you, Jean Grey is so boring.
It fails to address the issue that is the focus.
I remember the first time I watched this movie, I didn't realize that this girl in this scene was the same as the one in the later scene who, when she's helping Wolverine come to.
Yes, but not to live. Senator, it is a fact that mutants who have come forward and revealed themselves publicly have been met with fear, hostility, even violence. It is because of that.
Did you see the blockbuster skit on the Amanda show where the guy asked for the X-Men but got F-Men instead? No, I did not.
What is it the mutant community has to hide, I wonder, that makes them so afraid to identify themselves?
I didn't say they were hiding.
Well, let me show you what is being hidden, Miss Gray. I have here.
Something tells me, and I'm just having a feeling about this, Senator Kelly is a Republican.
A girl in Illinois who can walk through walls. Now, what's to stop her from walking into a bank vault, or into the White House, or into their houses? And there are even rumors, Miss Gray, of mutants so powerful that they can enter our minds and control our.
You know, I gotta say, Senator Kelly's not necessarily wrong.
I think the American people.
Like, give Charles Xavier's power to somebody without self-control, and that guy can rule the flippin' world.
The truth is that mutants are very real, and they are among us. We must know
who they are, but above all,
we must know
what they can do. The trailer hit that line. They had that in every single one. This is the thing that doesn't make sense. In First Class, Magneto does some very shady stuff and should be on a wanted list somewhere.
What are you doing?
But he's just walking around.
Why do you ask questions to which you already know the answer?
Ian McKellen
Don't give up on the
and Patrick Stewart are just perfect.
I've heard these arguments before. It was a long time ago. Mankind has evolved since then. Yes, into us.
You're poking around in there, Charles.
You're sneaking around in here, Charles. Whatever are you looking for?
I'm looking for hope. You know what?
I'm looking for hope.
Do you guys remember that the first movie after the X-Men trilogy that they made was X-Men Origins Wolverine, and we all know how terrible that was. But do you guys remember there was in development a Magneto movie? There was in development a Magneto movie script, but then X-Men Origins Wolverine died, because that's why they were doing X-Men Origins Wolverine, then they were going to do X-Men Origins Magneto. I don't know if they were going to keep Ian McKellen as that. I think he probably would have been young enough back then. But okay. The movie. Oh, sorry, we got some people wondering whereabouts are we. All right, if you got it right now, we're at 9:48. So I'm just going to give everyone a moment if they want to watch with me and continue on. That's fine. Just going to give it. We're on 9:48. But yeah, I'll just take a moment to talk about Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, because I would have loved to see a Magneto movie. That would have been just so good just to see Magneto, because he is in probably the most relatable supervillain. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's the most relatable supervillain that where you feel like, oh, I kind of get where he's coming from. He's kind of got a point there. But yeah, okay. 9:48 starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
This is Lawful City.
I will admit, as a Canadian, they make all Canadians look like douchebags in this. Like we're a bunch of rowdy, drunk. I mean, sure, we're drunk. A lot of us are maybe a little rowdy, but we're nice. Come on. He's more sympathetic than Finn, I guess. Is that for Last Jedi? I guess. Well, he's not really. Anyways. Walk away with your money. This guy doesn't sign a waiver or nothing. He's just like, step into the ring. This is a lawsuit waiting to happen, but that's why it's Canada. We don't sue people. We'll just be like, sorry. I love that foreshadowing. Don't hit him in the balls. Oh, that I thought was so cool. Just punching his fist. I don't know. I never saw that when I read it. This was the first movie I ever saw on DVD. And since I was still pretty young, and the trailers for DVDs were like, you're in the movie. I'm like, oh, I'm in the movie. And so everything hit really hard for me. Like Logan's just like, that was like 3 seconds. Hugh Jackman. The 3 perfect castings in this movie: Hugh Jackman, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart. Yeah. Oh, this guy. Here's the weird thing. I remember this guy. They did not know how to end X-Men 3, I'm pretty sure it was. So there's 5 deleted scenes of the ending. and one of them, it might have been the Wolverine or something, and one of them is Wolverine coming back to this bar, and this guy has the shotgun again, but he puts it away because I guess he's more woke now, and he's like, not all mutants are bad, and have a beer. I actually really like that thing that they got the same. I always like that when they get the little tiny actors in the background, but you bring them back for like a reappearance. I always love that sort of thing.
Leaders of over 200 nations will discuss issues ranging from the world's economic climate and weather treaties to the mutant phenomenon and its impact.
Yeah, a couple of cage matches. They went from, X-Men had the cage match, Spider-Man had a cage match, but at least that was in his origins. Hey.
You owe me some money.
Stu.
It's
not worth it, Stu.
Show for it.
A beating like what? You kicked him a couple of times. That'd be bruises at the best.
You keep this up, you lose something else.
Hey. That is not the Canadian way. And those claws. From the first movie, they got the claws right. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I didn't notice it the first time I saw X-Men Origins Wolverine, but he's like waving them around like they're like pool noodles on his hands because they're CGI and there's no weight to them. But like he cuts the shotgun. Oh, they look so good. Still look good all these years later. Now, here's the thing. I knew about Wolverine's claws when I first saw this movie. I did not know about his healing factor. You know, when you're a kid, you think you know things. Like I remember thinking when I first saw the first Spider-Man movie that Harry was going to become Hobgoblin, and that's how it worked. And I remember being so confident in that fact. Like I was telling my family, I was, oh yeah, he'll eventually become Hobgoblin. That's just what it works. It's just not even close. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can outdo Hugh Jackman as Logan. I'm sure everyone's heard the story that Hugh Jackman didn't know that a Wolverine was a real thing. He thought that it was just some made-up animal. It was like, oh, it kind of sounds like wolf. So he studied wolf's behavior. When he was on set, Bryan Singer was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm trying to act like a wolf. He's like, why? You're a Wolverine. He's like, yeah, but that's not a real thing. So how did he see her? Because he can't see her with the rearview mirrors. And if he smelled her, he should have smelled her a lot sooner. That's all I'm saying. Gotta say, though, hairstyle. That was also a risky choice that they did for this movie. Like, it could have not worked.
What the hell are you doing?
Something, Ryan House saw something funny.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Where am I supposed to go?
pick one. Not everybody can pull off the I really don't care, but I'm actually. I love the. I think that. No, you didn't. She didn't. Not really. She doesn't know that yet, but. You know, not many people can pull off the tough guy with a heart of gold, but Hugh Jackman does it really well because he doesn't say come on in, he just stops the car. He's like, fine, whatever. Beef jerky. Got some good old beef jerky. The nectar of Canadians. Here's the thing, Rogue's supposed to be the scared teenager in this movie.
Were you in the army?
And it works for the movie, but her character never gets to shine like how she is in the comics. And you can see movies have such an effect on comic books because, like, if you watch Wolverine and the X-Men, the TV show, she's a little bit more darker and like brooding, just like Logan, kind of just how she is in this, a little bit more. Like, and it works fine for the show. It's just you look at like the older Rogue, who's a little bit more upbeat and fun and joking around, and she doesn't really get a chance to really become that especially in the other movies, they give her such a poor me, but and don't get me wrong, her character needs that sort of thing, but it's just like get over yourself after a while. You have to accept who you are and just roll with it. Do they explain how Rogue got to Canada? Nope, not really. Hitchhiking. But to be fair, when this movie was made, that's when they had the unprotected border between USA and Canada. They had no guards or anything like that, so it's not impossible to suggest that she got over the board easy. That is true, Dr. J. The nectar Canadians is maple syrup. That is very true. Logan. No, it's James Hallett, but Marie.
Wear your seatbelt.
Don't need advice.
Wear your seatbelt, kids. It'll save your life. But to be fair, Logan really doesn't need to wear a seatbelt. See, this is the thing. Is like, sure, in general, but if you can't die, then I guess it would help not with pain, not feeling pain. I don't know if I would have wanted to keep travel with this guy if he was like went through a window, was like, "How's it going?" But then again, it's Hugh Jackman. I'd want to hang out with Hugh Jackman more. See, you know why it was a good choice to have Hugh Jackman play the Canadian? Because apparently he's like the nicest guy ever, even though his character isn't. Would you say the movies are as good as the 1990s cartoon? The 1990s cartoon has pros and cons. Like, it's able to go full comic book, and in some stuff, there's like the Dark Phoenix stuff is really good. The arc before the Dark Phoenix, where she gets the Phoenix and it's like a force of good, it's not good. It's really not. I remember it being really bad, but then I kind of like the idea is like, I am a force of good destined to beat this thing. And then after this, like, well, now what? And then she starts wanting to try other things. Ford! So, can't be killed, but can be knocked out, even with an adamantium skeleton. So, good to know. Okay, so we know. I guess Sabretooth must have just tracked her because he's after Rogue, not Wolverine. Like, we know these guys found them because of Cerebro, but we don't know why Sabretooth found them. Yeah, so much for seatbelt saving lives. We don't know why Sabretooth, like how Sabretooth found them, because they don't have a Cerebro. It's possible, like, her thing ended up in the news, like maybe the boy blabbed that I kissed a girl, she sat my life force, or something like that, and that's why she ran away. And, she was like, a big celebrity sort of thing, like everyone was mocking her and stuff. I don't know. I like to think over the whole process of it. Toad, this guy.
What are you supposed to bring someone back?
This actor I really actually like, because Toad is in the comics is kind of a joke, but he's like the biggest. Like, he takes on most of the X-Men at once in this movie. But
What happened?
I met this guy. I met Sabretooth, the actor who plays him, in a comic book store in Saskatoon. I was doing a thing for my broadcasting college. I did a video on it. In my a funny thing happened. It was my very first one of those where I met him and I was like, holy crap, he was a huge guy, very nice. Had some event going on that he was trying to advertise, and I was walking around with a video camera, and so he thought maybe I could advertise, but I don't really.
I have made the first move. That is all I know.
I like the little clicking balls thing that don't actually have the strings. I like it because it's cute, but I also like because it's like It's like a little thing of concentration for Magneto to focus his brain on just in the background for training. I don't know. Hey, Jean Grey, I forgot you existed. Okay. You were just on that side of the table, Jean Grey, you lazy. Why didn't you just take it with you if you knew you were going to need it? I do love how he pulls his claws to her face as if just like for him he knows it's threatening, but for her she's like, "What are you doing? I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you." I mean, the underground headquarters. Like this is the underground headquarters. Hello. Hi. I am good. I'm watching the X-Men movie right now, and I'm actually streaming right now. It would be late. Well, I'm not even really halfway through.
Where are you going?
So you know what? I guess I could end the stream. Okay, well, I'll call you tomorrow, and we'll have more time to talk about things in life in general. Let me pause it for a second. An hour and 20 minutes. Okay. All right, I'll call you after then. How about I text you first, and if you don't respond. Yeah, okay, that works. All right. Love you too. Bye. I mean, okay, now back on track. Yes, I love my wife. I mean, Charles Xavier just trolling him, like, where are you going? Over there. I mean, Charles must have been ready to shut his brain down if he started trying to hack and slag all these kids. I would have actually said, you know what, kids, just stay inside for a little bit. I got to maneuver this guy. Oh, yeah, he heard a noise open, and then he just runs for that door. It's just like, shouldn't he think someone else is there?
Good morning, Logan. So, I'd like your definitions of weak and strong athletic principles in my desk on Wednesday, all right?
Who's even studying? This is like a vortex. Oh, look! Kitty Pryde 1.0. See you later when you become Ellen Page. Actually, no, there's one more version before Ellen Page.
I'm Charles Xavier. Would you like some breakfast? Where am I? Westchester, New York. You were attacked.
You know, Charles, you could have awakened him at any time, right? You could have kept his brain asleep for a little bit longer so Jean didn't have to be nearly choked to death.
Where's the girl? Bro, she's here. She's fine. Really? Logan.
Yeah, Ryan made a good point. It's like when his healing factor is taken away in the Wolverine, how come he still heals? I guess it was dampened like a lot, but yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I believe you've already met Dr. Jean Grey.
Yeah, thanks for that, Professor. You could have kept him asleep for a little longer. Actually, she could have done it. She's a psychic.
A very powerful mutant who believes that a war is brewing.
This is a school. What's the age limit? I don't know. X-Men, the school for gifted youngsters has always been from like preschool to
Sabretooth.
Okay.
Storm.
Okay.
What do they call you? Wheels. Stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Wilson. You said the guy named Wolverine. Let's see what else is.
It's been almost 15 years, hasn't it? Living from day to day, moving from place to place, with no memory of who or what.
Yeah. The first movie, he wasn't. Hugh Jackman wasn't as jacked. He wasn't a Hugh Jackman. Somebody mentioned that there, and I was like, yeah, that's true.
You're not the only one.
But
So you guys, over there.
what is this place? And now the advertisement for
What is this place?
the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Anonymity is a mutant's first chance against the world's hostility.
Yeah, that kid is a flippin' cheater.
We're merely a school for gifted youngsters.
How would it would kind of suck to just your power to be. All right, here we go. Here we go. There's my boy, Sacklock.
And in time, teach others to do the same. The students are mostly runaways, frightened, alone, some with gifts so extreme that they've become a danger.
I always thought it was silly that they had like characters that you knew were supposed to be other characters, but they didn't do anything with them. Like the only ones they do is Iceman, and that's it. Because we get a different Pyro, we get a different Kitty Pryde. I don't know if we ever get a different Jubilee. It's just like, why don't you just hire teens with like some skill, and then maybe you use them down the road, you know? Oh, Bobby. Really interested in Rogue, but he's gay now.
Join the world as an educated young woman, or stay on to teach others, to become what the children have affectionately called X-Men.
Welcome to Mutant High.
Mutant High.
But the school is merely a public place. The lower levels, however, are an entirely different matter.
Oh, this takes me back to X-Men Legends. I love X-Men Legends. I love just walking around the whole school and getting into different discussions with different people. I mean, and then you talk to Psylocke and realize how messed up her backstory is.
Believing that humanity would never accept us, he grew angry and vengeful. He became Magneto.
No, he became Magneto after a bunch of teenagers were drunk and decided that should be his nickname.
My respect for mankind. If no one is equipped to oppose him, humanity's days could be over.
Morph? Wasn't he created for the X-Men TV show? I don't know. He was. We already got Mystique. What do we need Morph for? Anyway.
Piece together what you've lost and what you're looking for.
I mean, I feel like he's like having part of this conversation, then walking around in silence for like 10 minutes until they're in another room, and then continuing this conversation. Yeah, I would have loved to see Gambit too, and I wish he didn't just get one bit thing in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I love the little. There's so many touches in this where they hint at stuff, like Toad is spray painting something. You don't really know what it is, but it's the Statue of Liberty torch. You see Toad right there in the helicopter.
No, I don't see a difference. All I see are weapons in our schools.
Weapons in their schools. Boy, was that a thing in X-Men that they said that wasn't. I mean, was this before or after Columbine? Jeez, I don't know.
The whole world will be watching. Maybe there's some way you could use that to your advantage.
We're Americans, Henry. Let the rest of the damn world deal with mutants in your own way.
You know the situation?
It's true. We're Americans. Screw the rest of the world.
People like this Gene Gray. They were up to me, I'd knock them all away. It's a war. It's the reason people like me exist.
Huh. Best version of Mystique. I mean, this one specifically, not just this movie.
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid you were at school as a child.
Yeah. Mystique was the worst part that they handled in the previous franchise, in the prequel franchise. Look, I know she's naked because she's sexy, and that's just what they're doing. Channing Tatum good as Gambit? I don't know. I mean, Channing Tatum's a good actor. I've seen I've seen him in some things that I actually like, but I don't know. I mean,
I'm sorry.
you need some. I almost feel like you just need someone who actually has that accent. Because if you don't, it could be really bad.
So, couldn't wait to get my shirt off again.
Yeah, good line there, Logan. So, wait, you're doing a school? Yeah, I'm gonna need a CAT scan for a school. Is this a medical school? No, high school.
Supposedly indestructible. It's been surgically grafted to his entire skeleton. How could he have survived?
I don't mind the black news, but I feel like nowadays they could have made them work like they did with Spider-Man's mask, as in the comic suits. Yeah, I would. I want to see the next X-Men show, whatever, to try to do their best to make the comic book suits. It's the one thing this franchise never was able to do. They had it though. They had the Wolverine suit. It just must not all look good on Hugh Jackman.
Experimentation on mutants. It's not unheard of. But I've never seen anything like this before.
What do you think Magneto wants with it?
I'm not entirely sure it's him Magneto wants.
This would be piss pants worthy opening. Just like, oh, I'm the guy that hates mutants, and here's a. Now this is weird. Toad just eats a bird. I mean, he's still a guy. Like what?
Toad has a wicked time, Senator.
Like he still talks like a normal person.
Who are you people?
My wife is typing in, and I told everyone when to start the movie on their own end, so they're watching it themselves.
She takes so many shapes.
Whatever you do to me, you'll make me right. Every word I'm spoken will be confirmed.
Oh man, this plan
Are
of
you a God-fearing man, Senator?
Magneto's is actually genius. You get some weird plans in these movies sometimes, but
As a bringer of light, wisdom, and understanding.
I think his plan is actually brilliant. Like, let me put it this way: if you know, if you could change the people in power to be someone else, like, okay, this is gonna sound weird and probably not correct, but if someone could make a ray that made all the people in power black at the time when black people couldn't vote, then maybe people would, I'm just saying it's a good, it's a great plan. If you make the world's leaders mutant, they make them sympathetic to the mutant cause. Well, my wife is also commenting. What about the late people who've never watched it? Well, you could go back to the, I think, or can you go back? Maybe when I'm done, you could watch it on your own. Okay. All right. But yeah. Anyway, Magneto's plan, like, obviously it doesn't work, and he's okay with that. Like best case scenario for him, all the world leaders get wiped out, and that's not necessarily a bad thing anyway. But like worst case scenario they die. Best case scenario they they become mutants, and it's worth the risk. I remember having no idea what was going on with this part.
I think you'd be comfortable here.
Where's your room?
With Scott down the hall.
Ooh, they share a room.
Was that your gift? Putting up with that guy?
Actually, I'm telekinetic. I can move things with my mind.
What is he having in Cyclops? He hasn't said 5 words to Logan. He's like, yeah, putting up with that guy. What? He walked in front of him, and he's like, "You want to get out of my way?" Cyclops has done nothing to him at this point.
I'm sure he is.
So read my mind.
So read my mind. I'd rather not. Come on. You're afraid you might like it.
I doubt it.
You know, the other movies later down the line, especially the Wolverine, play it like him and Jean were such close and such connection. They really weren't. The scenes, they have a few scenes in here, the slightly flirting, but that's about it. And then we have a scene in the a few scenes in the second one with them kind of flirting, but it's not like they spend time together in between the movies. You know, they're like in between movies. He was off of Alkali Lake and she was with Scott.
Well, I guess you got nothing to worry about, do you? Cyclops. They must just burn you up that a boy like me saved your life, huh?
It's like I'm.
Gotta be careful. Might not be there next time.
There you go.
Logan, stay away from my girl.
Nah, Cyclops, you were good. You were good. And then you're like, stay away from a girl. I was like, then nah. Yeah. I would have a lock on my door if there was a bunch of kids that could just walk in. Here's one thing I want to say. The flashbacks where he has to where he was experimenting on are like terrifying. Like they freaked me out as a kid. And then in like X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's just like the tamest thing ever. They're like, I put it in, and then he doesn't even lose his memory there. Anyway, we'll get to that one. I'm not looking forward to it. I wonder if like his trailer back then had like a lot of holes in the ceiling because he kept on waking up like that. Hey, don't take him out. That's just you're supposed to leave him in until you can put pressure on him.
Somebody out!
Hey, ow! No, I actually really like her. She's dying in that moment. She can't even really think anything beyond I need to touch him to survive. She's like struggling to breathe. Like nowadays you'd have someone that would overdo it like, oh, I've been stabbed. You notice that Storm hasn't had a line of dialogue yet? Like, what are we at? I'm just going to pause it for a quick sec. We're at 40 minutes into this film, and Storm hasn't had a line of dialogue. I think this was Halle Berry's early career, too. She didn't get famous till after this movie, I think, too.
She's all right.
She'll be all right.
What's she doing?
Whenever Rogue touches someone, she takes that energy, that life force. In the case of mutants, she absorbs their gifts for a short while.
Mm-hmm.
In your case,
Your ability to heal.
I feel like she almost killed me.
If she'd held out any longer, she could have.
Well, maybe a little bit longer, because do I prefer Wolverine and Jean or Scott and Jean? Well, at least Scott and Jean have a relationship. Yes, she is a million times better than this than Catwoman. I think actually her quietness doesn't hurt her character all that well. Or all that much. Oh, rubber band, man. I think her being quiet doesn't actually hurt. She just seems more reserved and less outspoken. Whereas the other ones, they get her talking too much. But yeah, as terms of Wolverine and Jean or Scott, Jean, I mean, I love this scene. he just has a bunch of metal things and just brings them up as he's walking by. Advanced, I hope. It's like there's no door. He just bends the bars. Everything they do with Magneto as with his magnets are just always so great. Even in the third movie, I mean, they do everything with him perfectly. There's never a movie that where you're like, Magneto's kind of lame.
Senator, this is pointless. Where would you go?
No, there's your one of us. Here's the thing, Magneto. You have a metal door. You could have brought it around and picked him up. I don't feel like Sabretooth is to blame for this. He wasn't the greatest choice to pick him up if he was rubber. But then again, they didn't know he was rubber. So it's your own fault, Magneto. Yeah, Magneto and Mystique. They're like the powers that you watch after this film. You're like, man, I would love those powers. That would be the one. What's your favorite dinosaur? I mean, Ankylosaurus were always my favorite because they were the herbivores, but they had a weapon. Anyway, moving on to the actual movie. Hey! Tommy, you're being oppressive to Jellyfish, you little douchebag. Sir, the nude beach is down a mile over to the left. And I believe the very first Stan Lee cameo. There he is! Keep on thinking the fat guy from Lilo and Stitch is supposed to be on this beach with his ice cream cone. It just drops.
Broke.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, in Spider-Man 2, a lot of the X-Men films sadly suck. Here's the thing. Magneto should have, or Mystique, I mean, should have had to do a lot of reconnaissance. It's like, how dare you not die, Rogue? How dare you not die? But then again, she's a teenager.
Professor Xavier's furious. I don't know what he'll do.
I
think it'll be easier on your own.
I think it'll be easier on your own. Yeah, sure. Here's the thing. Why didn't she just pretend like, hey, let's go on a date or something? Or let's head out into the town. Come with me. And then knock her on the head. That would have been just as good and less of a spectacle. Here's the thing with Lucas. Here's the thing with when it comes to healing. You live forever. You're eventually going to be trapped under something to death, or not to death.
Maybe it's his way with people.
You don't like him.
How could you tell?
Well, I'm psychic, you know.
Where is she?
Who?
Rose. She's gone.
It took you a second to look.
Welcome, Professor.
Cerebral. This is another iconic look. I like this room, although. I don't like First Class Indigo. Sorry.
Why don't you just use it to find idea?
I've been trying.
Some way. Because he helped me build it. Nope, that's wrong. It was Beast who did it. These are the lines that make First Class insufferable for me. She's like, because he helped me build it. When Beast is like, no, I actually have a room just built for a psychic. I didn't know they exist, but it's right over there.
You should read them.
Yeah, Rogue's powers would be hard to deal with.
For someone like me, it's
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah, rogue's powers, they'd be hard to live with. I wish, as long as it didn't cause the other person pain, I think I'd be able to handle it. You know, if I'm just like, I'm going to need to take your ability for a bit, and then you just did a bit in this, they make just, you know, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, I think I'd be okay with the rogue's power as long as it didn't kill anybody. Especially because in like the different shows, it shows like how it's not just mutant power she can take. She can take your physical ability. She can take like she can touch Tom Brady and be the great quarterback who cheats all the time. Anyway,
I can't leave the mansion. It's just the opportunity Magneto needs.
Listen, I'm the reason she took off.
We had a deal.
she's all right. She's just upset.
Storm, Cyclops, find her. See if you can talk to her.
maybe you should have the psychic go so she can read minds and find her easier. Okay, how did he get there first?
What?
They left before him. That's always bothered me. I do love. I don't know what this scene is. He should have been like flew right off into a flipping like. You got to hit some traffic eventually, right? And then you got to slow down. The little scenes like that where she just looks at other people touching each other and just that longing in there. This actress does a good job with this character. It's just not the character from the comics that I would want. And I feel like they could have gotten her there, but they're just like, well, she's just mopey dopey and that's it. And then that's where they left her. They never had her grow out of that.
I'm sorry about last night.
Me too.
Maybe some passenger just hearing this would probably
I
think
heard the professor was mad at me.
other things.
Who told you that?
A boy at school.
When's the last time you saw her? She was supposed to meet me for lunch.
And that's the end of that conversation.
You look around. I'll check with the ticket agent.
Boy, it would have been nice if we had a psychic right now. Now, here's the thing. This is another thing that First Class gets me. If Mystique and Professor were like brother and sister growing up, and there wasn't any bad blood between them, she just decided to go for a different cause. She nearly kills the Professor with this. Like, he nearly dies. And to have her go from someone who she views as a brother to I'm just going to casually poison his brain like it's no big deal.
I think you should follow your instincts.
The first boy I ever kissed ended up in a coma for 3 weeks.
Anyways.
I can still feel inside my head. If it's the same with you.
I will say I didn't see it coming. I should have when I was a kid, but I mean I wasn't looking at. I didn't view movie plots as a film structure back then. Now, one of the big problems with the original X-Men movies is that the only ones who get any development is
There's not
Logan.
many people that will understand what you're going through. But I think this guy Xavier's one of them.
And that's fair, because as I said,
He sees
Storm just had like her first line a couple of scenes ago,
that's a rare
and it's just like she's just upset. Cyclops is barely developed. Jean Grey's always been boring, so it's not like she's all that developed either. Oh well, I guess we're going.
Give these geeks one more shot. I'll take care of you.
I wonder if we're would have been a good idea to have them traveling together for a little bit, like go ahead a little bit in time. The continuity in these films are messed up beyond belief. I believe that. It's more messed up than like. Well, I'm trying to even think of another. It's like the Terminator movies. Terminator movies, and wouldn't it have been great to have a psychic here to let you know that somebody dangerous was coming? I can't do dances around my neck. Should have just broken her neck right there. But then again, I wonder if that's unfortunate. Cyclops' most powerful blast in the movie, and it's friendly fire. Like, she's taking all the time to build up a cloud and to get some lightning down. He could have snapped her neck right there, or at least squeezed tighter until she passed out. And that was a bolt of lightning directed inside a building. There's no way that didn't kill somebody else as well. At least Toad got his target. Yeah, quit playing around. Like, Toad got his target. He got his guy knocked out. Hugh Jackman. I could see the Hugh Jackman Rogan Last of Us vibes. Wolverine versus Magneto. It's never much of a match, is it? And it's always fun. It's just like, dude, you're made of metal. I am a living magnet. What is your deal? Yeah, this is a good idea. Oh, shoot. The best thing about Last Stand, well, I have to, Kelsey Grammer probably. But we'll have to wait until I get there. What was it I want to do? I should have saw that coming, but I didn't. I was like, wait, Rogue? And then, Mystique talked to Rogue, not Logan. And this is a big honking needle. Like, this is the size of a flippin' lightsaber. Like, I think she's dead. Young people. Magneto, you could have just floated them all out, but then again, he does have a flair for the dramatic. Are there any mutants you're not a big fan of how they came out in the movies? Sabretooth is kind of boring in this. He's basically just like a bearskin rug with roaring. But there's some good fights with him, so I can't complain too much. Storm, I was never a big fan of in the first place, so the fact that she's really boring is not that big of a deal. And I never liked Jean Grey. I like Cyclops. I like Wolverine. Oh, this scene. This scene. Oh, Magneto is like, this is big dick energy right now. Just like, this is why you need some gun control. No.
Let them go.
Eric, if you can make a helmet to protect your head from Charles, why can't you just
Well, I come out when I can see you, Charles.
do that for your minions too?
What wonderful. Can't you read my mind?
No, because you're wearing the helmet of your parents' killer. First class.
Kill me, Charles. And what will that accomplish? Let them pass that law and they'll have you in chains with a number burned into your forehead. It won't be that way. Then kill me and find out.
Oh, love Magneto.
Huh? That release me.
Yeah, it's like, you might think you have him. It's a wink of his eye. Didn't even fully wink.
wish you luck, Joe. I don't think I can stop them all.
I don't think I can stop them all. That's a great line. Like, maybe I can, maybe I can't. Want to test me? Let's do it.
Still unwilling to make sacrifices. That's what makes you.
Yeah. Stewart and McKellen are just like some of the best of the old school casting. Like, people argue, is Tobey Maguire a good Spider-Man? Is William Dafoe the best? Well, William Dafoe's great, but it's like, are those good casting choices? Nobody says anything about McKellen. If this movie was made now today, I bet he would have just fired, because I think at that time that would have been too dark. But can you imagine if he just was like, boom, and he killed them all anyway?
He said he wanted me.
I made a terrible mistake. His helmet was somehow designed to block my telepathy.
Somehow designed. I never came across this before. First class.
Where are you going?
No, Xbox, stop listening.
The traditional way. Look.
Sorry. No. Sorry, I paused it for a second. Xbox, stop listening. My stupid Xbox was listening. I didn't even say that. Pause it for there. Continuing on. Right, I'm gonna pause it for a sec just so everyone can get lined up. 58-28. 58-28. 58-28 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna find her.
Hello, Mr. Gamer Guy. Nice. We got 8, 7. No.
Logan, you can't do this.
Yeah, I'm having a great day.
You? So far, you've all done a bang-up job.
This is Storm's only real scene in the movie.
Fight with you?
Well, until the Mr. Kelly.
Who the hell do you think you are? You're a mutant. The whole world out there is full of people that hate and fear you. You're wasting your time trying to protect them. I got better things to do. Magneto's right. There's a war coming. You sure you're on the right side?
At least I've chosen a side.
I do like that line. At least I've chosen a side.
I'm looking for Dr. Jean Grey.
Now, here's the thing. Did Kelly know that Jean was a mutant? Because he says, people like that Jean Grey. And so
I'm Professor Charles Xavier.
I know he knew that she was a mutant sympathizer.
Hospital. They would treat you like a mutant.
Magneto is good in both versions until he's not.
Not all of us.
Well, I haven't seen Apocalypse.
Senator?
Lucas, who did you think was dead?
I want you to try and relax.
Kelly? Do you think Senator Kelly was dead? Not yet. Anyways. Senator Kelly, yeah, no, just keep watching. I do like how in his psychic he can just get up and walk around in the psychic landscape. That's pretty cool. He did fall off a cliff, and then we saw him walk on the beach. I think Magneto is great in all the not all the movies he's in is great, but Ian McKellen is great, and then we get oh shoot, I'm forgetting his name. Who plays young Magneto? Michael Fassbender. I got it before anyone else did.
The machine emits radiation that triggers mutation in ordinary human beings.
But the mutation is unnatural. Kelly's body is rejecting it. The cells began to break down on us.
Yeah. Exposition time. Everyone get your stuff out here. This is where we just gotta sit and explain everything.
So what does Magneto want with Rogue?
I don't know.
Wait a second. You said this machine draws its power from Magneto and that it weakened it.
Yes. In fact, it nearly killed him.
He's going to transfer his power to Rogue and use her to power the
Yeah,
machine.
here's the thing though. Why couldn't Rogue
Somebody there.
why couldn't Rogue like
Yes,
use
I'm here.
like why couldn't she like not use his powers? Like I know she's tied to it.
I want to be alone.
All right.
But it's just like she's tied to it, but I'm just thinking like could she just not use it? Just like no, I'm not gonna use it. Mm-mm. But then again, she like naturally used it when she was done. I don't know. Maybe it's something she can't control
I suppose
at this point.
I'm afraid.
Now I want to see if this affects age as well.
Person to be afraid
All right, here we go. I mean, I think that age is okay. It's not a perfect seamless transition. Man, that must have been a pain to mop up.
Gene, get him in a uniform.
Wait a minute. He's not coming with us, is he?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Professor, but he'll endanger the mission. Yeah, I was the one who gave the train station a new sunroof. No, you were the one who stabbed Rogue through the chest. Hey, why
No,
don't you take
Scott's kind of correct here. Why would we bring the metal guy against Magneto? He'll just start stabbing us with Logan. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, I kind of almost thought it was like I thought the water scene was just like I thought he just absorbed too much water and that's why he turned to water. But I guess it's like because his body was rejecting the mutation. But I think they should have used a different effect because if it's because his body was rejecting the mutation, then him turning to water, it makes it look like he just absorbed too much water and died. But no, it's supposed to be because his body was rejecting the mutation, and so it just his molecules just evaporated. Here's the thing I don't get. That green liquid, what did it do? Like, because obviously he didn't inject into his brain or anything like that, but it caused some sort of blockage. Like, that's just the footage playing backwards, I think. Anyways.
You still hear me?
I like this scene from Cyclops. I know everyone else hates Cyclops, but I like Cyclops. I even think this actor's pretty good.
I'll take care of them.
I wish we got to see him actually do leadership stuff, like how we see Captain America do it in like the Avenger movie, like get over there, do it over there, you know, where he's just like I'm the leader. He's like I'm gonna take care of him. Like, okay, what are you gonna do? Well, that was quick.
Yes, please.
I know where Magneto's going.
To the bathroom. He has a really big dump. Yeah. Well, they're both psychic. Xavier's a lot more powerful of a psychic than Jean is. She also has telekinesis, though, where she can move things with her mind. So she has like a double power. Like, how does Sabretooth just swim there? He didn't look that wet. He was just like, kill, and now you're dead. Just stabbed his claws into his back. I don't think those are death blows, but okay. Oh, this is like this scene where he does like a Super Mario. Look at that. He flattened him like a Goomba. What the flippin' heck is that? That is terrifying. He's like, oh boy. Ah, a Smurf. Sorry.
Magnificent.
I've seen it.
I first saw it in 1949. America was going to be the land of tolerance.
Land of tolerance. Peace. So I'm glad I'm Canadian.
Are you going to kill me?
Yes.
I love Ian McKellen. Just like
That is the land of tolerance.
he doesn't beat around the bush. He's not. Yes, I'm going to kill you. It's not even that he's happy about it. He's just. This is his battle plan, and he needs her for it. Is he selfish for it, not by not doing himself? Oh, heck yeah. But he needs to be the leader, and he needs to sacrifice some pawns in order for his vision to become natural. But he doesn't. There's no reason to belittle or hurt her or attack her or hate her. He's just honest with her and says, yes, I feel like this is a sacrifice that needs to be made, and I'm sorry about it. I don't even know if he's actually sorry. He didn't say he's sorry. He's not sorry. Let's be real. He's not.
Liberty Island. Now, presumably, his objective is to mutate the world leaders at the UN.
Do you have time for this meeting? I mean, they're there.
And judging from what the professor saw, if Magneto
How?
He could wipe out everyone in New York City.
All right, we can insert here to George Washington Bridge.
Yeah, I haven't reviewed games in a while because, like, I can't get the footage as easy as I used to.
What about Harbor?
Well, not as easy as quality.
Anything that can pick up our jet, they deserve to catch us.
It's like, man, the black market stuff that Xavier must have had to go through to put this school together. They got CAT scans, the Blackbird.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Okay. My favorite trivia question about, or not trivia question, but my favorite thing about these costumes is the fact that during one of the shoots, they couldn't get over a small wall that they had to hop over because the leather suits were so restricting. I always found that really funny. Just a little wall, not even like this high, just like a knee-high wall. And they're like, just trying to crawl over it. But still, the suits look cool. I gotta say, the black looks pretty cool. Do I want to see them try to recreate the suits in live action? Like, what's he looking at his hand at? This is like, I always thought that meant, oh, it didn't hurt that time. Huh, that's weird. I don't know. He was always looking at his hand weird. And I do like this that they're going to use her powers for cover. X-Men always have something with their eyes. I mean, Storm's glow white. Mystique's glow yellow. Jean Grey's will eventually glow red. Sabretooth's are black.
You stay here. Once I give my power to the girl, I'll be temporarily weakened. You'll be my only defense.
I don't know what this look that he gives. He's like, what? Look, the movie is cheesy in a lot of ways, but I still like it a lot.
Sorry?
I think I might not be able to look at this movie unbiasedly. Yeah, that was the scene right there where they walked over that. That's what they couldn't get over.
Torch.
Yeah. Anyways, I am surprised 5 of you have been in this long. Just going through. See, this is this type of stuff I love in X-Men. I forgot. He goes through the metal detectors. Cyclops gives him looks like, really, really, bro, and then middle finger, and he's like, okay, all right, that's funny. Hey Wolverine, why didn't your nose pick up Mystique right now? You walked right past her. If you can turn it, could she like turn into a cartoon? I don't know. If she can turn into the Statue of Liberty, what can she? All right.
Logan.
He walks around the corner. Eugene Gray, maybe read minds. Although I don't think they know of Mystique. Yeah, you know which one's the real one that time after that, because Mystique is smiling too much. That must have been her fingers that got cut off there. Like she doesn't have like a healing ability exactly, but obviously she got her claws cut off, which are she doesn't have metal claws, so it's gonna be part of her. Here's Toad taking on 3 of the X-Men all at once. Like just yanking her Storm around. And he's even like trolling. He's like, yeah. Yeah, Lucas Green, you've been all the way through. At least none of the X-Men steal anyone's. Oh, I was wondering what Dr. J was meaning, but yeah, he's making a reference to Spider-Man 2. Yeah, they're all heroes. See, this actor, I don't know, he plays it well. And Jean has to get the stuff off her face, so she has to be saved. But this is where the Wolverine fight gets interesting, because we finally get Mystique in all her glory. It's a good transit. Like, the changing effects are really good. At least they'll hold up. And she is just, oh, this actress, because she's like, I think she was like a stunt performer or something first. Like, she wasn't like, and all of her physical movements are just great. And she hits him in the balls and he gets pissed. I mean, this isn't the most amazing fight scenes, but this is like, look, you didn't have too many scenes where a man's like fighting a woman, and it's not like this is a fist fight, this is a brawl, and like, ooh, like that dismount. She's like, come at me, bro, and then just walks up like it's nothing, and I'm just like, she's awesome. Wow, that's embarrassing for you. Hey, Storm finally uses. Well, I guess she used it against Sabretooth, but I wish. Here's the thing: I wish Storm could like use her things more in battle. Like she just makes big stuff happen around her, but she doesn't have moments where she's like fighting with like she doesn't have a fighting style where shoot some lightning and a blast of wind for you. Like I want that in a reboot. And this line, nobody gets this line. Everyone's always like, I don't get it. I like this is a pretty cool shot of her just blasting through with all the power. Toad when gets struck by lightning. This must have been a thing in the comics.
Same thing happens to everything.
Because in X-Men Legends, the video game, you capture Toad and you're interrogating him, and you're like, do you know what happens to a toad when you throw it off a building? Now, it's possible they were referencing this, but I think that's a line of the comics where they just say something like that. Oh, this is a good scene, too. Just someone is sus. Who's sus? Yeah, Mystique is a great fighter.
Come on, we have to regroup.
She takes him on
I know,
one-on-one.
but there's a problem.
Oh. It wasn't a great matchup for Mystique. I remember being like, ah! Yeah, put your hand over your boob. It's not like you're revealing enough.
Hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Also, Statue of Liberty, great place for a fight scene, right? Like, it's a little cliche, like, oh, they're fighting in a natural place, but they make the most of it. Magneto's, my favorite Magneto lines coming up.
what is
Gene, you can move stuff with your mind. Or not. Oh, and he's so tactically perfect here.
My brothers, welcome
He pushes,
you. Let's point those claws of yours in the safe.
he puts like the claws in Magneto's face. Well, his chest. Wakanda forever.
You better close your eyes.
He puts Scott facing Jean, so he has to close his eyes.
Storm, fry it.
Oh yes, a bolt of lightning into a huge copper conductor. I thought you lived at a school.
That's my favorite line. A bolt of lightning and a huge copper conductor. I thought you lived in a school.
May not be familiar with the historical significance.
Mystique. Mystique.
I've seen Senator Kelly.
He's not worried about Toad. Mystique.
So
Mystique.
Senator survived his fall. And the swim to shore. He's become even more powerful than I could have imagined.
He's dead. It's true. I saw him. Like those people down there when he died.
Are you sure you saw what you saw?
I would also like to thank the President of the
I mean, in Magneto's defense, we don't know that if his genes became unstable because he was waterlogged.
City of New York.
Just saying, it's possible. Yeah, coming up, the clip coming up, I did use in my top 10 favorite superpowers as the intro. Which is funny because I did use Wolverine's healing ability as one of them.
Soon after, we'll be there.
I do like this one.
Full of shit. You're really so righteous. It'll be you that's it.
And Magneto doesn't have an answer for that. He doesn't have, well, it's more honorable this way or anything. It's true. He has to concede that point that what he's doing it this way is a little selfish, a lot selfish, because he's putting a teenage girl's life ahead of his life ahead of hers. Here's the thing. I guess he left, and so they were all like bolted in with his magnicity, and he like broke the saber. I was just always confused, like, why did he fall? Now I remember this fight scene. There's just a lot of throwing and stuff. I mean, that role's pretty cool. A lot of slashing and hacking and slashing. I feel like if they ever wanted to have made a proper, he does say story, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I am close to 3,000. I will do a Q&A when I do a 3,000 one. Yeah, like there's a lot of grabbing and scratching. I feel like, as I was going to say, to do a full saber-tooth battle with Wolverine properly, it would need to be rated R, like some blood and stabbing from both of them, like maybe ripping like Logan's face off or something like that. But that would have to. And Jeji. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I guess he fell off. You know, hey, Lady Liberty's got an earring. That's what I always thought when he's hanging from her ear. By the way, welcome Indigo back. You said you're back. I didn't even realize that.
You owe me a scream.
Hey, is that the only bub in the movie? I feel like that might be the only bub. Hey, bub.
Open your eyes.
Drop something.
I mean, yeah, Rogue does have some characters. It's not just like, actually, if you think about it, besides Logan, she probably has the most character development out of all the X-Men. Huh. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody, look at me. I fell into a boat.
Cyclops can get it. The ring's moving too fast. Just shoot it. I'll kill her. Storm, can you get me up there?
I can't control it. You can fly right over the torch.
Then let me go. If I don't make it, then at least you can still blast the damn thing. All right, do it. Jean, use your power. Try to steady him.
Hang on.
Why didn't she just use her power to get him up there? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, time is of the essence here, but I feel like instead of just launching him through the wind, just using telekinesis to slowly lift him up would have been better. What on earth? Now here's the thing. How did he jump into this thing? It's spinning about as fast as a helicopter. And he's in. No problems here. I guess he still has enough of his powers. You know what? I will say this. Since as a kid, my and still is, my favorite was Cyclops. I did like how Cyclops, technically, he's the one who takes down Magneto and Sabretooth. So I'm like, hey, Cyclops may not have the most lines, but he got to take down the big baddies. So the Coast Guards, they're dead because they were around the Ellis Island, and they're just going to be, because this thing gets really close to it. Just wait. No, I'm trying to shoot Magneto, not her. When you rewatch the X-Men movies, do you feel you miss Hugh Jackman no longer plays the most iconic role? I mean, all three, Hugh Jackman, McKellen, and Patrick Stewart. I mean, all three of them. It's sad that they'll never play the roles again, and it's too bad. It's too bad. I'll miss that. I'm open for a new interpretation, though. Like, look, these movies, I enjoy. Like, I enjoy the first X-Men a lot. I don't think it's necessarily a flawless film, for sure. I think that it's a movie that has a lot of problems. If you're a fan of the comics and of the characters, I think it really does flourish, and it does have a lot of great moments. And so, like, you're not relying on the movie itself for development. I also do love they gave her a reason why her hair's white. And she wears it like a battle scar. Like, this is part of who I am, is acceptance. I like it. And this was like his face gets tearing apart. I always looked at those scars as like every cut he's ever had that he's healed from just being torn open. It's like, okay, you can let go, Logan. She's fine. She's awake. Gosh dang it. Yeah, that's an unfortunate pose. He's like, oh. Magneto's still. I thought that was blood at first, but it was just his cape. I mean, Ian McKellen wears that cape well.
Hey, this one's alive. Let's get him out of here.
Sorry, I just had a bad thought. Yeah, the X-Men score is okay. I think there's a lot that are better. Like, who was looking after the professor while they were all out? That's the thing. Is like, did they call hey, Moira McTaggart, can you get over here and look after the professor for us? Or the kids?
How did we do?
Oh, well, he can heal. He'll be fine. Yeah, he is pretending to be asleep so she will touch him. Okay, that's what's happening here. See, that's why he's like, oh, it tickles. Like, so he was already awake. He just moved because he got tickled.
Fantastic. That was a brave thing you did.
Sure.
Yeah. She's fine. She took on a few of your more charming personality traits for a while.
That'd be kind of funny if she's just walking around, Bob, give me a beer. Something like that.
I think she's
You can tell my heart belongs to someone else.
Your heart? You had like 2 conversations with her. Bull crap, Logan. Come on. This has always been the worst part about these X-Men movies. Has been the stupid love triangle that he has no part in.
There's an abandoned military compound without light and Canadian rockets close to where we found you. There's not much left, but...
Well, thank you, Lucas. That was very nice of you. I still got 4 people left for the last part. I do like this song. Like, she now has gloves that are all the way up to like her sleeves.
I was wrong in this particular issue. I hope in time I may be forgiven.
There he is. Hey, Senator Kelly. I mean, Mystique. Wow, they paused that at the right moment.
Son of a bitch.
Should we tell them that Mystique is posing as a senator? No, let's see how this turns out. I mean, I guess maybe she was pushing the agenda to more their way. But I mean, didn't Senator Kelly have like a wife or something? There's a lot of stuff that Mystique would have to pretend. Maybe he wasn't married, but I'm just saying.
You running again?
You running again? That's a good callback.
There's some things to take care of up north.
I guess her accent's not too bad. But it's not as thick as it was in the beginning, though. I guess you could say the character's trying to drop it so she doesn't stand out. Look, I get the fact that Logan finds Jean Grey attractive. Don't get me wrong there. But when he says, my heart belongs to another woman that I have had like 2 conversations with. Yeah. Well, if the brother had killed the senator and his wife, then the X-Men really have no excuse why they didn't tell on her. Of course I'm going to steal his bike again. I do like that it's an ongoing thing that Logan is just constantly stealing Scott's stuff. Good old chess match between the 2 frenemies.
Doesn't it wake you in the middle of the night? The feeling that someday they will pass that foolish law, or one just like it, and come for you.
I love this because it's set up for the next movie, but it's not bluster. The next movie delivers on this moment. That they will come to the school and that they will attack everything that Xavier holds dear. I mean,
A great swell of pity for the poor soul who comes to that school looking for trouble.
Here's the thing. I want to see.
Why do you ask questions which you already know the answers?
See, I just want to watch these 2.
Search for hope.
He still considers Xavier as a friend. Or, I mean, Xavier still considers him. That's what this relationship is so good, is the enemies.
This plastic prison of theirs won't hold me forever. The war is still carrying charms, and I intend to fight it.
Magneto and Xavier are enemies, but they still are friends.
I will always be there.
And
Old friend.
And there's such a level of mutual respect between both of them. But here's the thing I want to know. Did Xavier really have him in check? I couldn't actually see the board. I want to see... One of these days I want to go back and just look at it. I'm not going to pause it now because I'm streaming. But I want to see if there's anything that he was actually... If he was actually in checkmate. Well, directed by Redacted. We won't talk about the director. We don't need to talk about him. Anyways, so yeah, that's my first watch of the X-Men movie. I will go. Thanks for joining me for this stream. I'll try to, if I'm gonna do these reviews, do a quick video. If I'm ranking all of them in my ranked video that I will do after I've watched them all, I'm gonna rank all of the movies and see which ones I would rate higher or lower. I'll do that video down the line, but maybe I'll, if I'm gonna be watching this whole thing or all these anyways, I'll stream the other ones in the future. So yeah, thank you for the 5 or 4 of you who watched, and thank you for joining me, and maybe you'll join me next time. Maybe maybe next time I'll post a little bit of a link. I'll probably do the second one. Yeah, probably tomorrow. I was thinking of maybe doing it tonight, but you know what? Probably not. Anyways, yeah. See you then. It'll probably be in the afternoon, just because I only have 1 shift of work tomorrow, so I'll have more time. Anyways, see ya. Bye. Yeah, I do like how Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are really good friends in real life. That is fun too. Anyways, bye. Yes, end.